I don't know, but I figured that because you know when you ring, it rings. If you hear that ting, I said.
May I have a blessing?
Mr. Teller, you come up here. Oh, okay.
Oh, very good, very good, thank you, good.
Yes, sir.
Well, first of all, Manny, I'm still waiting on your 461.
And I will get them, and I will have by next week. Sorry about that. Mix up an
That's a
account.
promise, right?
Yes.
Okay. And how about the money? Did that get returned?
That has not, but I will be refunded.
With interest, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
With interest, yes.
And I don't seem to still understand why Mr. Pacheco keeps coming late. But, you know, that's not your problem there. We'll address that in the council meeting. The other thing that I will address, which concerns you, Mayor, is this thing with this dwelling. Okay, I don't know if he's a special friend or whatever else, but we're spending a lot of staff time, and every time this keeps coming up on a meeting, we waste time, if we don't do other things that's more important, like getting our, all the things of all the employees, things done with their arrangements of what they need to have done with negotiations, and we keep bringing this thing up, and you're trying to change state law of what we have up at the state right now. Yeah, the guy wants the bigger house, it's either he puts it in the front and puts a maid's quarter in the back or whatever, but you don't just change city law for one person, even though he might be your best bud. And it's sort of like how we go in with the soccer league, with the buddy deal. The soccer league doesn't follow city policy that's in with the Parks and Recs, it's written policy. They don't pay for the using of the property. They don't pay the proper fees for the lights. It's policy. You have it written, and there's no brackets in there that says special price for soccer league. Nothing's been ever voted on that. This has been the buddy deal. We need to stop the buddy deals, and we need to quit wasting staff time on this. And this, I keep coming up every time, and I keep seeing this on here. This guy needs to build with, I mean, Amy is adamant with me. When I bring somebody in and want them to do something, no, Mr. Tully, this is the code. This is what we have to go by. But I don't know why everybody else thinks they have to be special when they're on the council. You should be able to follow the same rules that the residents and business owners follow here. So that's what I'd like to see happen, and quit wasting a lot of staff time on this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, moving along with public communication. Yes, Mr. Wood.
One of the things that comes from the special meetings every 2 weeks, always bring different things other than what's more important. The contract for the city employees, the contract for the police department, those are the ones that we're supposed to be working on. Not body deals stuff. I'm sorry to say, but we gotta get the contracts, talking to all the employees and everything. What I hear is, oh, we're gonna work, but they haven't done anything. So, you have to get with it. Tell them we're gonna get a contract, or not, we're not gonna get a contract. But it's getting to the point, what are we gonna get on all the employees? All the police departments, where do they stand? They're out there every night, every day, taking care of us. We have to take care of them. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Norma. All right, good.
Pues estamos aquí para pedirles permiso. Tenemos un terreno que mide 24,500 y queremos hacer una casa atrás, una casa familiar, pues no para vender, no para rentar, para nosotros. Y queremos saber si nos pueden dar un permiso especial.
Are you your tasking? You're together, right?
Yes. I would say that the library is 24,000 square feet. I was trying to get a permit to build a house, not to rent or sell. Nothing major. I mean, you do receive the, I don't have any pictures, but you receive like on the football field. I know the regulations allow 1,100 square feet.
Yes, I believe about 1,100.
I would ask a couple, 1,100, really small, was just small, like a couple of hundred extra square feet. I'll ask them for like 3 bedrooms. 1,100 is like 1 bedroom. Yeah, and just wants it for family, not for the neighborhood, so.
It's on? All right, so yeah, just want to let you know, and with all due respect, Mr. Chao, I've known them more of an acquaintance, they're not personal friends, so I just want to let everyone know. So I know you mentioned that, and again, I hear you. Estoy mencionando porque alguien dijo que ustedes son muy amigos míos, que quiero hacer esto porque son amigos. Ustedes los conozco simplemente como residentes en la ciudad. I just want to, with all due respect, basically these are individuals, they're not personal friends of mine, they're residents of Baldwin. So, all right, okay, gracias. Anyone else? Wishing to come up there? Well, we're gonna hear that, it's an actual hearing. Okay, so it'll be on the agenda in a bit, okay? Just let you know. All right, so at this point, yeah, sorry about that. All right, so at this point, we have the open session was the storing the previous city events, recreation and community services. So I would have Mr. Mancari.
Hello, council.
Hello, Manny.
We've gone through this a few times, so I just think it might be easier just to go to the slide. Let's see, the events. I think this is it, right here. These are the 3 events that, at least in my humble opinion, that staff would need a direction to implement for this July and or a little bit sooner. The street market we are proposing is August 6th. So basically, the current existing budget allows for 4 concerts. So we are proposing the 4 concerts, and then all of August and a few weeks of September. We are proposing 7 weeks for the downtown street market, since we have a funding source, which is a business improvement district. So that it will not be coming out of the general fund. The 4th of July Spectacular, if the city council would like to proceed with that, that would come out of the general fund. And the concerts are already budgeted, but I put on there just in case if the council wished for 3 additional concerts. And we have, and then we have other events that we could wait until the budget. So I think these 3 events are items that we need immediate attention. The others could wait.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Can I clarify the concerts and July 30th, which is a Thursday?
The concerts, since the kids get out of school the end of May, we thought it would be nice to add a few more concerts. So it would be 2 in June, and then the last concert ends the week before the 30th. So we are proposing adding 3 additional concerts to the existing concerts. So it would be 2 in July, and 1 at the end of, or 2 in June, and 1 at the end of July, to lengthen the series from the current 4 to 7. So we have currently 4 budgeted. I was proposing 2 in the beginning and 1 at the end, which would be July 30th.
So that's what the schedule would look like,
Yes,
June 18th to 30th. So it's
Yes. And then I was thinking, if the council choose the downtown street market, the very successful event we had last year, we could continue with the festivities on Thursday and continue on August 6th through the 17th with the big Mexican Independence Day, El Grito, and so on. And we could collaborate with the shopping center. And I have been approached by numerous folks that would like to collaborate. Car shows, carnival, lucha libre, possibly even a circus. So there's lots of opportunities to create energy in the downtown district.
Let me ask you, Manny, sorry, Mayor. The cost is $14,000 per concert
The cost is $14,000 for 3 concerts.
for the 3 additional.
Yes. So 3 additional concerts, and that would come out of the general fund under sponsorship. And the 4th of July, you can see the cost there. I would probably recommend, I know the mayor really wants to have 4th of July this year, but we could possibly have it the following year, and/or I have been in contact with the Pyro Spectacular Company. If we conducted 4th of July a day early, they would be willing to knock off approximately 25%
On the
off
Friday,
the fee
On
on
Santa
July
Monica.
3rd,
Really?
which I believe this year's 4th of July is on Saturday. I don't have a calendar in front of me, but I believe it's on a weekend, so I don't think it would hurt the show.
And let me ask you, instead of doing all the weeks of the concerts, is there, you had said something about movies in the top floor?
Oh, yes,
of the-
we have several events planned, yes, in the month of June, I believe on Fridays, Saturdays, or Sundays, depending on the facility. We are having movies on top of the main roof of the parking structure, and we also are having movies at Barnes Park. So those are on Fridays and or Sundays throughout the summer. And those are focused a little bit more in June because we are a little dark in June. Summer starts for the kids the end of May.
Okay, real quick question.
Yes.
So, 4th of July, everyone has 4th of July, we get about, what, 6,000 people?
More.
Now, out of
10,
curiosity,
close to
what if you
10,000.
don't have those little rides and all that? Would that be deducted and just basically have the,
That's about almost a breakout even, because we do generate some money for the rides. We pay approximately $3,500. We generate about $3,200.
so that, so there's, okay, is this with a discount here on a Friday? Or is
Yeah.
it cheaper?
It would probably be about a 25% savings on the fireworks. Fireworks cost right now is about $20,000 for a 20-minute synchronized show. So about a 20 to 25% discount, they could probably get it down to about $15,000.
Why don't we wait till next year? I have a couple of people that have approached me that said that they want a concert, but they can't do it this year. It's too late for the 4th of July for next year. And use some of those funds for maybe, I know that we don't have the Easter anymore, and I believe that either
It is too late for that.
Attorney Tafoya had said that he was
Yes.
donating something to something.
Yes.
You know,
I was gonna say, that will happen.
I was like, what?
My God,
I was
man.
thinking, did you see my neck? I think I broke my neck.
With a 25% discount.
I will give you the 2,500. You really do want to get rid of me, don't you?
So I think, I don't know, that's just me. What does everybody say?
About what?
About the 4th of July next year, because it's kind of late in the year now.
Is it late?
A little bit. It is a little bit late. We could probably make it happen if those are council's.
But the thing is, Saturday, I'd rather have it on 4th of July. Can you, can you do it next year, 4th of July?
Absolutely. If those are the council's wishes, we could definitely make it happen for next year and or this year.
I'll work
Okay,
with
so-
you on the people that wanted to
Oh,
perform, the two
okay.
businesses.
Okay, well, wait a minute. Oh, go ahead, then I'll say.
No, I thought I heard you say you wanted it off. So you're continuing to next year. I was
Well-
gonna say, so should we take it off the table so we don't
Well,
waste our
it would,
time or?
okay, is it, well, can we get any, so we're talking, the whole program would be for this year 33,000.
33, no, it would have, oh, yes, it would be $33,000.
However, well, okay, but if we have it Saturday, it would reduce 25% off that 33,000?
It would be about a $5,000 savings because the savings would materialize from the fireworks, which is about
Oh.
$20,000.
I see what you're saying. Can we look at, well, we probably can't get any sponsors.
We actually get sponsors for all the different events. So all of the vendors in the community.
Have we got any vendors right now for that 4th of July? Did you want to take it out?
No, we haven't secured any type of vendors. Usually 4th of July, we have never really had a major sponsor because we have sponsors for the run, for the concert series, Arbor Day, and all the other events that we coordinate.
I guess for next year then. I mean, it'd be nice, but if you're saying, well, you guys could kick it off in other words.
We could make the event happen. That's not a problem.
Well, let's try and bring it back. Is this something we need to know
You would
about?
need to know tonight.
Yes, we would need to know, because we're definitely running out of time, because we have to request an RFP from the city council, circulate an RFP, award the contract, go to the fire department, health department, and work with the school district for the property.
Yes, everyone's asking, and that's huge, that is really huge for us.
And it is, we
So
have
do we
about
break even?
10,000 people.
Do we break even, or do you think that would maybe offset some of that cost?
No, 4th of July is an event that we lose money. A significant amount of money because of the overtime of all of the different divisions involved.
So then it's higher than the 33,000.
No, it's 32,000, but versus the other events, it's more of a general fund type of event.
Because the downtown street market, that's 42,000, but that's offset by that, what's that, business?
Business.
Yeah, that
improvement
comes
is-
out of the, general
And then also
fund.
we have vendors.
Yeah, we do generate a few $1,000
Donate.
every.
Well, can we try and see and let it happen, unless I don't have the votes here?
I just think it's
I wanna
too
wait till next
soon. I
year.
mean, yeah,
I'd rather
it's
wait
too
till next
soon.
So I take it there is a 2-1. Okay, all right.
But,
So,
I
And
will
just so,
say,
I'm sorry, and just so you know, this is the study session, the item will be on the agenda later for you to take formal action.
Yes.
if
Okay.
you
All
wanted
right, then
to.
we'll review it there, okay, all right, okay.
So we have a consensus on any other events, or?
Well, going back to the street market, I mean, that also generated a lot of interest from a lot of people, you know, so including in there, remember
Yeah,
that?
oh, yeah, no, it was great.
But for me,
It was great.
to me, the fact that it's not coming out of a general fund, plus I was talking to Manny and I think Cruz, you may remember this conversation. The owners of the shopping center said that they had a $25,000 fund, that they would be willing to work with us because they wanted to make an event really
That was
spectacular.
successful.
So we can seek the 25,000, I'm not sure they'll give it to us, but she said she had
We can
25,000.
collaborate with them.
Plus the business district, and everyone here has seen a lot of the, business owners, wanting to participate and donate. So I think at the end of the day, that's something that we can try to have without even going into the business improvement district. So that one, to me, it's worth the event and the buzz that it generated for the businesses.
Do you think the 7 weeks, or should we just do the 5? Going into the 16th of September? Or the 17th?
Like start the second week of August, you mean? Of
Yeah,
August?
like do 5 weeks instead of 7, but let it end on the 17th of September.
So then we would start later, or go dark for 1 or 2 weeks and finish off on it, because those are the actual dates. August 6th, which is a Thursday, through the 17th, which is a Thursday.
I don't know, I mean, go ahead, whatever suggestions, I mean.
No, the reason we want to do this September 17th and just, we had the conversation about the money is that the lady wanted to have
Oh,
a
that's right,
Spanish style
yes.
type of celebration. So we thought, well,
That's
can
right.
we, put it together with if not Grito, the Mexican Independence. She wanted it
Unless-
to be a Mexican Independence Day.
You would like to have it on the 10th, which is prior to the 16th, and we could,
So start August.
yes, no, so we could, our last one would be, the series would be 6 weeks rather than 7 weeks, and our last one would be September 10th rather than the 17th.
I think that would be okay with 6 and letting the shopping center pay for the last one.
Yeah.
Make it assist.
Yeah, they can help us with
The
the
last
last
one,
one.
tell them it's the 16th of September celebration. That also, we won't be colliding with a lot of cities that celebrate the 16th of September, the Independence Day.
Yes.
Especially downtown LA and Ramona
We'll
and
be
so
a week
forth.
early, yes. Okay.
All right, so at this point, you move it over to the counter? Yes,
Can I say
yeah, go
one
ahead, go ahead.
Can, maybe we think about intermixing the concerts in the park, like 2 of them, with the downtown market, because as you've seen, we got a lot of outsiders that come in. It would bring money to the city, not just the people, residents coming to the street fair, but the market could, with the concerts, would mingle over with that, or we have the vending over on Ramona that we had talked about doing. And we could have one big whole thing there for like at least 2 of those weeks and combine it with the concerts so that it would help out.
Makes sense, is that something you want to consider?
Well, the only thing about reducing the concerts from 42 and moving it to a street market, we lose some of the
No, I mean all of the
infrastructure.
concerts.
Oh, move it all to the street
Just
market?
combine the concert, 2 of those extra concerts with the street market. So that they were together, that they listen to music, they could come over, get the vendors, and then go back and forth.
So have them together.
Right. Have that
Are
two
you
of them
talking,
together.
I'm sorry to interrupt, are you talking about having just like the entertainment instead of like the 3 weeks proposed?
We would still do the street fair and
Oh,
have
and
the
the concerts.
concert in the park, and we would block off Ramona, because I've been told by Chief Taylor that he could do
You can
that.
probably get those, after the concert, you can probably make your way over there as well.
I get what you're saying. Now, I have to ask a question. I think that sounds like a great idea. You're saying like a flow of concert going back and forth to the street market and to the concert, right? I would have to ask staff. I mean, do we have the staff, the manpower to handle both sides? 'Cause I know last time, the last one,
If,
the speakers went out and there's a lot of, you know.
if we have, if we have the street market on Ramona, and then we could have both. But if we had it on Main, and then there would be a little bit of a disconnect. We'd be having a concert in one, have a street market on the other. So it would be up to council's discretion. We could block off Ramona. I've always been told in the past that that's a large street to block off.
I have to kind of think about that. For me, you're impacting traffic in a much bigger way because, that's where all the traffic is. At least Maine, when you close it off, it doesn't really impact a lot of the flow. And I'm thinking of, police and manpower to block it and service it. I think that to me seems like overwhelming to try.
We have a successful recipe. Maybe we can continue for this summer, how we're planned. And maybe next year, if it continues to evolve, we could move on to Ramona.
Right?
It's a major artery.
That sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
I agree. So
Yeah, we have a plan that works.
that works for now, at least so we can continue to grow, because that was the whole point, right? To generate interest. Okay, so then, can we say 6? Is that what we're saying?
6.
That's fine.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Manny. Okay.
Thank
I have a
you.
question, what about the parade?
The parade, council gave direction to include that as part of the budget process, since we do have time for the parade. It would be in November or December.
The budget process is another.
The budget process would be part of the fiscal year 15-16. So we would probably start the budget process in May, June,
Okay.
and then we should be completed by the end of June.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, so at this point, the dwelling unit development standard, so maybe we have Mike. Hello. We don't have pictures of that parcel at all, do we?
No, I do not, unfortunately.
Okay, all right, so we have the summary of development standards for the second dwelling unit, so at this point, Amy Harley.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and council members. What I've provided to you is a summary of what our current development standards are for a second dwelling unit. And these standards were crafted in conjunction with our latest housing element submittal up to the State Department, which got approved by the state, thank God. So pretty much we do allow second dwelling units as an accessory use within any of our residential zones. And you no longer need a minimum lot square footage of 10,000 square feet. Some of you may remember, several years ago, you had to have a minimum lot size of 10,000 square feet. Not anymore. The state said that, nope, you can't do that. So now, if you have, for example, a 7,000 square foot lot, provided you meet the development standards in here, you can have a second dwelling unit. So, or if you have, like, the people that we've been talking about, 24,000 square foot lot, you can also have a second dwelling unit. So the second dwelling unit development standards apply to any R zone lot despite what the size is. And that's one thing that I wanted to, make sure that everybody understood, is that we no longer have that minimum development standard for second dwelling units. And as I said, they're an accessory use. We allow 1,000 square feet and 1 bedroom. for a second dwelling unit. The front dwelling unit, provided you meet the development standards, could be 4,000 or 5,000 square feet. We have like a 6,000 square foot home, I think it's over on Monterey somewhere. There you go. It's beautiful, it's beautiful. The second unit has to be located in the rear 50% of the lot. It has to meet all the setbacks, the open space requirements. Does require a one-car garage. However, most of the people that have submitted second dwelling units provide a two-car garage that we've been seeing coming in. It has to have the same architectural features as the front unit, and it can only be a maximum of 1 story. So that's where we're at right now. There's nothing to limit, as I said. You can make your front house, provided you meet the development standards, as large as you like.
However, the second dwelling is what.
The second dwelling unit is what is considered accessory to the front unit.
So, and the current code is 1,000 feet.
1,000 square feet, yes. That's the maximum.
So in order for us to make any changes, then we will have to rezone.
No, you would not have to rezone, we would have to amend that section of the code.
If you look at the table,
Yeah.
that's there.
There's a table at the bottom which says in the R1 zone,
You can see for
Yeah.
each zone, how many square feet we provide for either 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom.
Yeah.
Depending on the zone.
this is for a primary unit.
So one thing that you could do as an option, you don't really have to pick a magic number of square footage. You can say we will allow no more to the maximum, no more than 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom. And for each zone, the number might be different a little bit, right? Or you can say the maximum is a percentage of the size of the lot. Or you could say the maximum is 150, 200, whatever you feel maybe comfortable with.
And the challenge with that is that we need to make sure that it jives with our housing element and we're not doing anything that's gonna jeopardize the approval of our housing element through the state.
Oh, really? So that would possibly be detention?
It, possibly, yes.
If you increase the number of bedroom too much, that's gonna be constantly faced with.
Right. And then you also have to remember too is that these standards apply to whatever size the property is in that zone. So you can have, for example, a 5,000 square foot lot, these standards would apply. You could have a 13,000 square foot lot, these same standards would apply.
So if we were to change it so 1,200 square feet, that would apply, you're saying, for 5,000?
Yep. If you had a 5,000 square foot lot and you could meet the development standards, you could build a second dwelling unit with 12,000 square feet.
Regardless of the size.
1,200.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So let's just pretend they have a smaller lot, then we would have to allow them even though they don't like they're enough.
Okay, so,
Then we also have to do all the setback
Mhm.
as well as the open space.
right, I was just gonna say,
Like,
so in essence, if it's a small lot and it doesn't meet the setback, you're not gonna build it.
You would not be able to now.
So you're
Right.
limited.
because you put the house and then you also have the garage because you
Right.
so that's gonna, like, whenever you apply the setback and open space, that's gonna restrict the amount of buildable.
So let me say this, so in essence, you really, it doesn't really apply, because if it doesn't meet the square footage, right, and the setback, you're not gonna be able to place it.
Right, but they could
In theory,
also,
in theory.
yeah, in theory, they could build a unit less than 1,000 square feet. The 1,000 square feet is just the maximum.
Whatever comes below to the.
And the current lot is 24,000 square feet, right?
That's,
There's already a cost.
Right, the front house, and I don't know what's the square footage on your front house, do you know?
1,300.
Which is, okay.
Well, what I just say, maybe we can encourage the owner of this lot to add a little bit more frontage or, make the front house a little bit bigger so they can match for that.
There is no maximum square footage.
right,
So they can be a full house, almost, not too.
But that's what I'm saying, they would have to increase the square foot on the front house in order to make it a little bit bigger.
Right.
Right?
And I definitely understand what they're looking at is a home in the back section, at least 1,200, or what is it, 1,200 or 13, or what are you guys looking at?
Or, I think something is around 1,300.
Yeah, and see, that's where it's the same, but that's where you get into the, where is your accessory use? Accessory is secondary.
So the actual lot itself, okay, and that probably has to do with what we got.
Subdivision, that no longer is allowed.
We no longer allow flag lot subdivisions, so you would need, about 50 feet of street frontage. So I don't know how wide this lot is, it could be one of those that's 50 feet wide and 200, 300 feet long.
I got just a question, just hypothetical. If they wanted to build a second story on the existing house, could they do that?
Yes,
Okay.
they could do that on the existing unit, provided it met the setbacks and the development standards for a second story, yes.
Okay, so the current buildable on the back is 1,000 square feet. Which I guess depending on how you build them, we're talking about one bedroom.
I think they can only build a one bedroom.
Yeah, the
Right,
maximum
okay,
you can have is one
They
bedroom.
couldn't do a 1,000 square foot, the two bedrooms.
Right.
They did.
That's correct.
That's why they want to expand it, so they can get
More bedrooms.
They want family.
So if you're, thank you. So we decide to change, amend, whatever, would we be amending this? Is that what?
Yes, you would be amending the code.
Okay.
But the only thing that concerns me is that we're going up against the state plan.
I would have to look and make sure that whatever we propose here, number one, it's applicable across all properties in all the residential zones, but I also want to be sure that we don't have any negative impacts on our housing element.
Do you think it will increase? I mean, I just,
Yeah, once I have the state placated, I don't want to push them.
so do you want to look at that first?
I can do that, I can, at your direction, whenever.
Well, let's look at that. I mean, I see what they're saying. And go by the lot, let's bring a picture of the lot, super huge, but I do also understand the impact that it would have on other lots throughout that area. And there's a lot of these lots up there, Removia, area, Pleasant section, as you know. Go
I think I
ahead.
just need the address.
Oh, can you give, what's your address?
4856. Market Street.
Let's bring it back and just kind of look at it at that specific time. If it goes through, and kind of at least give that consideration. Go ahead.
Can we give us, oh, sorry, go ahead, Jeff.
I was just gonna ask Amy, does she need some kind of direction on the number of units in order to evaluate against the house?
No, this is actually just specifically for second dwelling units. This was one of a major piece of contention that we had with the state when we were doing this, because I really wanted to keep the 10,000 square feet or more, and they said absolutely not.
Can we please, we've spent a lot of time on this, and I understand, your answers to the build and so forth, I know what that's like. However, could we set a deadline, because we spent about 2 or 3 meetings on this already, is it possible?
Sure, let's just
For
finalize
the next
it.
meeting, and that's it?
You want to give yourself till next month?
For the May?
What we do figure out, like, we need to evaluate what the impact's gonna be.
Right,
Check
exactly,
this thing.
right.
I would say 30 days.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, that's fine. As long as we can see this is, you're not bringing it back and bringing it back
And the
and bringing
reason
it
why,
back.
the reason why I say, because when we looked at this thing, we kind of just,
Right.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Once we don't get this policy.
Yeah, I just don't want it to continue another 4 or 5 council meetings.
Yeah.
Qualifies for subdivision, see if that's a fact that they consider. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so at this point, we are now going to go into the closed session with conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, section 54956.